You feel very strongly, in fact, absolutely convinced that you see this perfectly clearly. There are plenty of other people who we've seen who are absolutely convinced of the opposite proposition, that we're not spending enough money, that we should be doing even more, and that there's a lot of pressure on the school board and the town to make services. And we have this process, not to lecture you, because I know you know this, but we have a process to sort of balance those conflicting objectives. And my sense of this budget process as we go through 2 books and sub-binders and printouts and emails is government is small ball. And the present town hall administration and all the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Ed and the administration of the school district, you know, are faced with dozens, hundreds of tiny decisions every day, every week that have an impact eventually on the budget. And if there was a $500,000 chunk laying out there to knock off of this $1.7 million operating budget increases, yeah, it'd be great. We could get this thing from, you know, a 2% to, you know, closer to 1%. That would make everybody happy. I think those dozens and hundreds and thousands probably of small decisions have been made, and there's been a declining rate of increase. Okay, I know that's a complicated thing, but the amount of the operating budgets have been shrinking over the last 4 years, and significantly as you accumulate it. And so I'm more impressed with the process. If I saw the process breaking down, and I had a real concern that the administration of the town and the administration of the school district, I would be doing something similar to what you're doing. I hope I see it that clearly. But I'm also moved by 2 other things, which is I really think the motivation of the administrations is, in a sense, implicated by this argument. You're not the only person to make this argument, that we got to operate from the premise that a 0 tax increase is the goal. And anything that doesn't achieve that goal is somehow flawed. Well, I mean, that assumes that there's some sort of motivation that's improper. And I think we can probably agree that, you know, we're not trying to drive people out of the town. Everybody's objective is the same, to make the best town we could possibly have, and people work super hard to do that. So I think motivation-wise, we're in the right spot. Are they lazy? I don't think so. I mean, this is a hard-working operation. People are grinding every day to get these things exactly right. Is everything exactly right every single time? Of course not. That's why there's multiple boards, there's checks and balances, there's an opportunity to try and spot problems. You have new people come on who have a sharp eye and an ability to analyze things. I think this is a tremendous system. I love the concept of a Board of Finance. You know, you come from Pennsylvania, you see none of this stuff, right? New England is fantastic, and this is one of the things that makes it fantastic. So that potentially leaves what I seriously would consider really crumbs. I mean, there's not big, chunky differences in any given year that are going to be able to add up to $1.7 million of operating budget increase. And I'm sort of intentionally leaving the debt service increase off the table, because that was pretty close to overwhelming consensus that was a necessary thing, and we all made a decision to do something that was important and valuable to the town, and I'm leaving that out of the discussion. For today's purposes, talking about these operating budgets. So absolutely, if you or anyone else, and we implore folks to come to these meetings and point out what we're missing, because I would be the last person to suggest I've spotted every single nook and cranny in these things that could be spotted. But we do our best to do that, and if somebody has a particular item and it's compelling and it makes sense, and we're able to say, you know what the heck are you guys doing? That one is, there's $50,000 you're laying on the table, why don't we knock it back? First of all, we would probably have had that discussion 2 months ago, the way the system probably is currently set up, and 9 times out of 10, they would probably have had a chance to respond to it already, and I would suggest they probably would. So, not to sound like the civics class,